All right, let's answer Rugby Lovers 81 question. So Rugby Lover 81 on YouTube asks, what is the best way to get from Auckland Airport to the CBD? Is it Skybus? Is it the shuttle? Is it taxi? Is it Uber? Is it Ola, which is a big one in New Zealand as well? Let's go over all of them. All right, so Rugby Lover 81, guess what? We are actually about to take a flight in only a couple of weeks, and we literally just went through all that. I have an article on BackpackerGuide.NZ that explains all that as well, but we just went through this process, so we do have a lot of good insight for you. So we go through every single options one by one, but I think beforehand, we can just start by telling you which one we found is actually the best one. So we are landing in Auckland in the middle of the night, and we were just trying to figure out which one was which transportation will get us to the CBD the fastest, and also, without breaking the bank. Now, if you look at the cost of taxis and all of that, that is very easily around the $90 mark. That is $90. It's a lot of money, but you're pretty flexible. You go wherever you want, and that's quite cool.
It's basically the quickest way to get to where you want to go.
It's the quickest way, right? Then on the opposite end of this spectrum, you have the Skybus, which it goes through a set route, take you to the CBD, and it only costs you $18 per person. So you can okay, that's pretty cheap. For a couple like us, that's $34 because you can buy 2 tickets. So, no, sorry, 18. That's $36. My bad. That's $36. So we're okay, that sounds pretty good. And then I looked into Super Shuttle, which is a big company here in New Zealand, and I went on their website and I paid $36.40. That's including the credit card fees for 2 people going to the CBD and being dropped right in my address. Yeah. So that's pretty handy. So first up, I'm going right in my address. I'm not going through the Skybus that actually dropped me off in the middle of the city, and then I have to figure out where it is. And second, the Skybus has a time schedule, and we arrive in the middle of the night. So for example, we're landing at midnight. So if we were to take the Skybus, we will only be able to take a Skybus at 3 a.m., giving us a nice 2.5 hours in the middle of the night in the Auckland Airport, bored out of our mind.
So that's the problem with. So
we were not happy with that.
If there's a disadvantage to the Skybus, although it is a cheaper option, it's that the bus schedule is surprisingly infrequent. So you basically will have to usually wait around for the Skybus, and that's not the way you want to start your time in New Zealand, really.
So during the day, they come much faster, right? So during the day, it's about every 20 to 30 minutes, so you'll be able to hop in the bus and you'll be sweet, and that's totally fine. And if you're traveling alone, that's the cheapest way, because the Super Shuttle would be about the same price if you were alone anyway. Now, with the Super Shuttle, the downside is that there is probably going to be some other people in the shuttle as well, meaning that you may do an extra couple of stops. But honestly, if I have to choose between $90 and $35, I'm okay with a couple of extra stops that may take us an extra 10 minutes. I'm totally fine with that. So
and because of the size of the Super Shuttles, there's only ever about 4 other passengers, like 4 other different groups of passengers. So you're only taking about.
There are 10 seaters. There are 10-seater Super Shuttles. So you could have up to 10 people, but that never happens.
It never happens, because usually you've got a family that takes up most of the space in the Super Shuttle, and they only go to one location. And then you've usually got, like a couple of couples. There might be the odd business traveler. And I've taken the Super Shuttle in Auckland probably about, between 5 to 10 times. And
I've taken more than that.
Well, yeah.
I think you have as well. I think you underestimate how many times.
Yeah, so I've taken it a lot of times, and every single time, first of all, not all the seats are taken up. They don't wait at the airport to fill up all the seats, which is a really cool thing, because you actually get on the road faster. But also, there's only usually about 4 groups at the max that actually get dropped off on the way. So it does prove to be a pretty quick way to get to the CBD. Yeah.
Now, if you are hesitating between that and other type of shuttle, there are some cheaper shuttle than Super Shuttle. For example, Backpackers Shuttle, they actually offer rides to most places in Auckland for about $15. But you need to have a little bit of a group, so you need to wait for a few extra people. During the day, it is much better than the Skybus. No brainer, because it's cheaper than the Skybus and it gets you to your door. So during the day, it's all good. During the night, it's a little bit of a tougher one. So for this example right here, here we arrive in the middle of the night. So now if you are still watching live Rugby Lover, tell us if you arrive during the day or during the night, so we can give you a bit better of an advice. But yeah, if you're arriving in the middle of the day in Auckland Airport, then your best bet is actually to use something like to use something like the Backpackers Shuttle. That's $15, and they take you up wherever you need to go in Auckland. And then the next best thing is going to be the Skybus, which is about $18. That will take you alongside the set route. Then the next best one will be Super Shuttle, which is about $35, and that's going to take you to your door. And then after that, it will be a taxi. Now, Uber and Ola, so Ola and Uber are two different apps that are found in New Zealand for a ride-sharing system, but you never really share the ride.
It's just a taxi, isn't it?
Yeah, I know, but I don't know why they call themselves ride-sharing.
Because they probably don't want to do the taxis for taxis.
Yeah,
They
Uber,
want it to seem like a taxi service.
Yeah, Uber has nothing to do with ride-sharing. You just have someone driving you around. Yeah, exactly. So if you are planning on using Uber or Ola, you will be paying about $60 to $75 depending on where you're going in the CBDs. That's going to be about the price that you're thinking about getting. So same thing, that is cheaper than taxi for that option.
One thing about Uber, though, I don't think they actually have the right to take people right up to the doorstep of the airport.
Yeah, you stop further.
Yeah, so
away,
that's it's not a big deal. You just have to walk probably a couple of minutes. But the Uber doesn't have the same rights as taxis do to take you straight to the front door of the airport.
Yeah, exactly. So, and now if price is one of your concerns, there is a way to get it a little bit cheaper. But let me just try to find this one because this one is like a nonsensical crazy one. So for $12.50. Yeah. So $12.50. An amount of buses which is ungodly, and I will take you back to the CBDs. So do you want to go over this one? If you're really cheap and you really want it. So again, $15 you can take Backpackers Shuttle, and that will take you where you need to go. But for $12.50, that's still a saving. You can do that.
Yeah. There is the 380 Airport bus service, which takes you basically around the suburbs around the airport. So if you arrive at the Auckland Airport, you can take the 380 Airport bus, and you should take that to the Papatoetoe train station. And there you can hop on a train to the CBD, which is pretty cheap as well. And that's the way to basically get to a long-winded way to get to the CBD, but it's the cheapest way. So if budget really is a concern and you do have a lot of time on your hands, take all the public transport to get there, and that is another option. Yeah, I have done that once. I have to say, I put my hand up there, and I have done that once. It's very long. It's not fun to carry all your luggage after a long flight. It's just But one thing about the 380 Airport bus is that it only runs at certain times. So it's between 5 a.m. and 10:50 p.m. Monday to Friday. Pretty much the same sort of deal. Then Saturday, Sundays, it's 6:40 a.m. to 11:40 a.m. So that should probably that would be a.m. So basically, as long as you arrive in the middle of the day, that might work, but otherwise it might be a little bit hard to figure out. All right, so basically it all depends on the size of the party, how many people you're traveling with, basically. Not like party like that. Depend on the size of your party, depend on your budget, and it depends how flexible you want it to be. But I mean, we obviously, most of the time we use the shuttles, just because it turns out that most of the time we arrive in the middle of the night, but that's just us, we're just unlucky that way. Yeah. But most of the time we use the shuttles, we find it a bit more flexible. But it works. I mean, for example, let's say if you're staying in hostels in the CBD and you want to save some money, if you're staying at Bay's hostel, for example, there's literally a Skybus stop almost right in front of it. Yeah. Similar for Nomad's hostel. So it's kind of like, if your hotel is right on the route, on the route, if you're staying in the Mercure in Auckland, it's right on Queen Street, so you're gonna have a Skybus stop right there as well. So it really depends on where you are staying in the CBD as well. Because if the Skybus drops you off right in front of where you're staying, you may as well save almost $20, and that's pretty good. But
So yeah, that's our take on it. We obviously do have an article on BackpackerGuide.NZ to help you guys out on that one. So it's called the cheapest airport transfer option in Auckland Airport. Look at that, the cheapest airport transfer option in Auckland. Boom. Write that down, guys. Check it out, and there is really a lot of information. We go through every single one of the options that you can have, and we do that for almost every subject of traveling in New Zealand.
Yeah.
So nice little plug right here. Check out our website. We are awesome. We put a lot of work into it. All right, if you guys found that useful, like and subscribe. Thank you very much. Let's go back to the live chat.